Alright, we're going to talk about things to consider when a guy needs to shoot a new starter on his engine on. So, there's many things to consider when you're buying a starter for an application like this, a hot rod. Not stock, Because if it's stock, you go on there and you find what was originally in your car, and that'll fit. This, not so much. So, so we're going to talk about that. So the first thing I would consider is, look at the top of your engine. Look at the top of your engine. Go, okay. A good thing to do first is go ahead and see what you're working with. So what year of engine is it? That's something you would like to know. So if you have a Chevy, the numbers you're going to want to definitely get are right under this alternator. Right here. Right down here on the block. Right down in there, under the alternator, there's a number on the front of the block with V's and stuff in it, and you want to decode that casting number, because that will tell you the year. This, if you have a small block Chevy anyways, it will tell you the year the engine was built, where it was made. It'll tell you the year it was made, where it was made, what date it was made on. It will tell you the date the block was casted on and all that. That's all useful to know. It's good to know when your engine was built. That's handy for buying parts. Then you're going to want to know what kind of exhaust you running. Because, some starters, the wiring will hang off into your exhaust and just melt. So you don't want that. Generally. So if you have stock manifolds, generally that's not a problem, and you're going to be fine with basically a starter you put in it. But if you have headers like this, long tubes, then you're going to want to consider a different kind of starter, because these are great for performance, but they're kind of annoying when it comes to starters. So it's kind of get in the way, So you're going to want to consider, what kind of exhaust do you have? Do you have some big, huge headers that take up a lot of space, like these, where the starter's really close, packed in there? Or do you have manifolds where there's plenty of room and you're not really worried about it? Then you're also going to consider, this is something you should consider on any car, of course, your voltage. Are you 12 volt? Are you running 24 volt? What are you running? 6? I don't know. You should already know that, though, on your car. Obviously, it's a 64 Chevy. It's running 6 volt. Not 6 volt. 12 volt. And this engine is actually a 78. So, beyond not original, which I already knew was a non-original engine. I just thought it was an older engine casting, but it's not. So it's a 78 is when the block was made. And it came out of Flint, Michigan, is where this engine's from. And I know that based on the casting number. And I know the exact day they casted this block because of the casting number. But I don't remember it, so couldn't tell you. So yeah, you'll just have to go online and decode on those. Or if you're really good with it, maybe you have these Chevys memorized. I don't know. I know I don't. Because I work on a variety of crap, so I don't have anything memorized for any specific brand. Alright, so now we're going to get into the bottom of the truck, what you want to look at on the bottom of the truck, because there's more things to consider. Hang on, I gotta get under this sucker when buying a starter, even. Get down on the creeper here. Oh. Hey, It's probably going to be bad lighting, but we're going under. This isn't going to be easy. Hang on. This is why a guy likes using the old lift. There's a van on it, so. Whew. What are we looking for? Oh, starters on the driver's side. Whoop. And passenger, I meant. Alright. I was thinking of the Buick. I'm pretty sure it's on the driver's side. Passenger side. Oh, pooey. It's dark. There, you can see it when I get over here. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna go get a light. Weep. Weep. I know I gotta fix that rust. Oh. 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 How do you even... How does it go? Oh, get up. Oh. My antenna is a little messed up. Oh, the door's not latched. It is now. Let's get a light. I didn't think on that. Okay. These lights come in handy, you know. You can shoot her up. You can shoot her down. Shoot her to the side. Handy little lights, these things are. Just ignore all the random parts everywhere. I've been rearranging the shop. So you can see the truck is now further back on the shelf. Might as well show you. We've been rearranging the garage. The shelf is now in here. Ta-ta! And yeah, we're starting body work on that. Oh, there's a spare fender for the 5010 Woody, which we're gonna do a video on probably. Oh, there's another 37. Alright. Now I got the light. You can get in there. Get a little peek on her. You know. Oh, oh, oh. Look up from the bottom, boys. Actually, don't do that. I'm just playing. It's a joke. Don't look up from the bottom. If you don't get it, then that's too bad. It's kind of a dirty one, but it's a joke. I hit my head on the car dolly. Beautiful. Ow. See this son of a gun right here? I hit my head on that car dolly. Okay. We're going to get up in, the header's kind of in the way. As usual. I love them for performance, but like I said, they can get in the way a lot. So now, how can I position myself that I can talk about this thing? And get light on the subject. This is why I need to have it on the lift for this. We're gonna get her done. How my face is up in the, oh, I just can't win. You guys are in the oil pan. I'm in the, I don't even know anymore. I guess this is probably the best way. So there's a starter in there behind the header. So I'm going to try to get some light on the subject. Okay, there's a starter. I'll give back a little. Alright, there's a starter. So something else to consider is the bolts. What do you mean, you may say? Well, look. So, hang on. Try to get it in there. See how that bolt's there? There's another one over there. See that? Yeah, that right there. See how that works? There's a bolt there, and hang on. Okay, see how there's a bolt there and the bolt there? Okay. They're diagonal. Some of them are directly across from each other, horizontally, and there's also other ones that actually bolt into your bell housing on different engines. So you need to know that. What's going on? How do you bolt? How does it bolt to your engine? So mine bolts directly to the engine block itself, diagonal bolts on this 350 Chevy. So that's a good thing to know. And also, another thing to consider, like I was saying before, where is your wiring? Well, mine happens to be right up in there. See the solenoid there? It's right on the front of that solenoid. Which isn't ideal because it's kind of close to this header pipe. Which is, I have to have it zip tied the opposite direction so you can stay away from that header pipe and not burn on the header. So that's slightly annoying. I think that's about it down here as far as starters go. We're going to go inside and talk about more junk on starters and picking the right one, reapplication. So, alright. Yep. Get the hell out of here. And we'll do more stuff. Better. Alright. So yeah, you need to take into account what engine you got, what year it is, and where your bolts are. So where the bolts are that hold the starter on, because that's how you're going to know which starter will fit. And you also need to know, there's one more thing I'm going to mention, and that is we've went over clearing headers and stuff like that. So if they clear your headers, your wires aren't burning, you're good there, right? It bolts right up, you're good there, right? Well, you're done, right? As long as it works. No, you're not done, because it doesn't work still unless you get the right gear on your starter. So there's two gears, two different flex plates / flywheels, teeth-wise, for the 350 small block. There is a 153 tooth, and there is a 168 tooth flywheel. You have to get the right starter for the right wheel or flex plate, or it's not going to work at all. Even if it fits on the engine and wires are beautiful, everything's perfect, if it doesn't mesh right with your flex plate or flywheel, it's still wrong. It's still not going to work. It's going to make that horrible noise that this one makes because it's wrong and doesn't work all the time because it's wrong. I can reshim it now. It'll work for 2 or 3 starts, and then it won't work because it's the wrong gear. So we're going to go in, and I'm going to show, I think we're going to go inside, and I'm going to show different starters and different starter designs, because there's multiple different designs just for the small block Chevy. There's a couple different designs just for a small block Chevy, and there's probably a couple different designs for internationals too, I'm sure. I don't know, because I haven't had to get started for this. Luckily the last guy took care of that for me. Thank you, I don't remember your name. But he put a new one on it, so I don't have to jack with it. And this thing still runs great. Throttle position sensor was put on that last night. We'll get back on that when I have time. Alright. We're going to go inside now. I'm done for the night, so we're just going to talk about a little more starter stuff and what to consider when you're buying a starter. You know, so like we said, headers or stock manifolds. Maybe like this Buick here the 63 Buick, it's got stock manifolds. You're going to have more clearance on those stock manifolds than you will a header. I'd show you, but it's covered with stuff. Yeah, I'll show you, I guess, anyways. Oh, there goes the sandpaper. Okay. See? See the stock manifold in there? You can barely see it, but it's there. So, stock manifolds, if you could tell, you probably couldn't very well, not much light, they take up way less room. The only bad thing about stock manifolds on these classic cars is they're not as good for making power. They're not good for performance. But they do take up less room and give you more room to work with. So that's something to consider. If it's a car you're going to be working on a lot, you're going to drive it daily and you don't plan to race it or really try to drive it fast ever or anything, kind of like this is more of a daily driver. Something we're just going to hop in and want to turn the key and go to the grocery store or go to work, whatever. Go to Walmart, whatever you want to do. You hop in this, turn the key, and go. This is one of our daily driver cars. So that's what it's going to be for. It's not going to be a show car. None of mine are. They're not trailer queens. We drive them all the time. I just rode the International yesterday to go eat lunch. In 20-degree weather. It was 20 degrees out. 2-barrel. 345 started right up. And we went. That was it. This car has actually impressed me with its reliability. Now they say that it's going to break down next time I jump in it, but that's okay. Just ignore my mess here. Just ignore the mess over here in the corner with the V6 and all. Alright, we're going in. I'll be back when we're inside, and I'm going to show you the different starters. So there's the, see, directly across mounting holes. And let's see what else we got here. These are all mini starters, of course. And then here's your diagonal or straight across, kind of a universal deal. Right there. Here's a stock style. Here's an OEM style starter for a GM, pretty much. That's what they look like. So, there's your teeth, Bendix shaft, your mounting bolts. This is in the truck now. Yep. This is a little bitty mini starter with the Spirit Ross. What do you want? Here's the other style. Let's see the kind of bolts there, bell housing, what tab use. Yep. So let me get not. Is the thing I'm not getting. Not this. We will be getting As the OEM big ass melts on your headers. This is why I'm not getting that. Were you getting hang on. More like that, something like this. So yeah, it'll be something like that, little mini starter. The diagonal holes, and boom. And then there's multiple different versions of flex plates too. So you got the 168 teeth, I have. What else? 164 for the 3 Ford. 164 to 166. This is for Pontiac. 350 and 400. Yep, there's lots of different amounts of teeth, lots of different starters. So now you know some different types of starters, and there's different flex plates and different starters for different vehicles and different applications. Like this guy, this here, the C10. It's got a 168T flex plate and probably a 153 starter in it is my guess, is why it's not working right. So I'm going to get a 168T starter, pop her in, and hopefully she's good to go, and we can go ahead and get our timing dialed in, which is what we were doing before. And we couldn't finish because our starter took a shit on us, so we're going to do that. So, but I figured why I'm here. I got the whole international travel all. You know, their two are face to face. Let's go ahead and show you a better example than the Buick there, because you couldn't really see because I can't open the hood far because all the shit on it I didn't want to move because I'm lazy. You can't really see, you know, what was going on as far as what stock manifolds, how much room they generally take up. Well, I'll give you an idea here. Compare the headers. Look at these long tube headers on the Chevy, small block Chevy. See? Pretty big and bulky, right? But gives you more power. That might be worth 5 or 10 horsepower. I don't know. It's worth some powers. It's worth some horsepower. So, then you come over here. Look at this manifold up in here. Get your eyes on that. It's kind of small, isn't it? Compared to the other thing. Let's get a drop light so you can see better. Does this one work? Aha. So, oh, hang on. As far as this drop light, this is you know, your Herbert special. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot better visibility. Okay, so you see that? That's the manifold. That's a stock manifold. Look how much room it takes up compared to the header. It's a noticeable difference, right? So, it's a lot smaller. And obviously this one has the stock OEM style starter on it. And this is the kind of talking about that, what was it? Hang on, let me take a look at her before I tell you wrong. Yes, this is the kind that bolts up to the bell housing. See how the bell, this is the bell housing right here. This is part of the bell housing. See this? That's part of the bell housing right there. Kind of petting like a dog. So that is a part of the bell housing, and the starter, try to get you in there a little more, bolts directly to that, and that is the opposite of this truck, which bolts directly to the bottom of the engine block. So there's different starter mounting. Different starters mount differently, have different amounts of teeth, and work with different flywheels and flex plates. In this truck's case, it is a flex plate because the old International here, she's a 3 on the tree manual. Lots of fun to drive. If you ever get a chance to drive a 3 on the tree, I recommend it. For sure. A lot of guys get rid of them because, 4-speed on the floor, but the 3 on the tree is a lot more fun to drive, I will say that. And it's kind of convenient because, it's right up here in a guy's teeth where, the 4 on the floor is down there where the cup holder is. That's aftermarket. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry. I didn't even drill a hole in it, okay? I didn't drill a hole in the Mint International trans tunnel. I used the already pre-existing hole. That's why there's only one screw. So don't worry. She can kind of turn the lid on a guy. That's fine. You don't need to worry about that. Alright. So we're going to wrap her up. So, it doesn't matter what starter. And I recommend you get the right one because it's a pain in the ass if you don't. Trust me. I've been having a lot of trouble with this truck because it's got the wrong starter. So guess what? We're going to fix that before we continue. And, yeah. So, yeah. And, by the way, this thing is all original and unrebuilt. Still going from 1968. Original and unrebuilt. The only thing I rebuilt was the carburetor. Everything else is exactly as it was in 1968. Nothing has changed. It's how the people put together in the factory. And she's got 129,984 miles on her so far. Almost 130,000 miles. Stock. Bone stock, 2-barrel. 3 on the tree, unrebuilt motor, still going. No problem. I'm telling you, these old cars, man, they're pretty reliable if you take care of them right. So, that's the verdict on starters and having the right starter for your flex plate on your application, as well as for your application in general, your headers and everything in between. You want the right starter that's going to do you good, work right, and get the job done. You want it to get you down the road. So, yep. That's about all I got for you. Yeah, I ain't got nothing else tonight. Right. So, hopefully you now know what kind of, sort of to look for. I probably didn't do a great job, but you kind of sort of know what to look for when buying a starter for your classic car or a hot rod. So that way, you maybe won't screw it up. Not make any promises to anybody. But I will do my best to help you out. If you have a question, I'll try to answer it. Not promising any answers. So, if you have something to say, bleep it. You know where. Down below. And I'll try to bleep fastest back as soon as I possibly can. But the truck project, she's at a standstill while I order the starter from Summit or Jegs or something. Probably Summit, but I don't know yet. I think we're going to go Summit. And we're going to throw this together, and I would like to try to get it down the track this summer a couple times, maybe. So that'd be nice. I don't know about power tour, but down the track a couple times would be nice. And down the drag strip a couple times. This might be fun. And then I'm gonna try. I'd like to get maybe like a factory muscle car time from the 60s, like a 14-second pass out of it or something like that. I'd like to get in the 14s in this big, huge truck if I can. Or like the 15s at least. 16s, somewhere in there. I think it's got it in it. It just needs a little work. So, yep, I'm going to try to get as close as I can to like what a stock small block Camaro would run in 1968. I'm going to try to get close to that. What a stock Camaro would run in 1968 down the drag strip. I want to get as close to that as I can. Try to get into stock muscle car territory of this truck. After that, I might spray it with some nitrous and try to get faster. But I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. So, but that's what's happening. The truck, it's going to be a street strip truck. Mostly a street truck, but strip truck second. And I'm just going to drive it a lot, probably. So, when it's done. So, after we get the mechanicals worked out, we're going to move into body work. As you can see, it needs it. Body work. And paint. And then I'm going to get into some other stuff. So, yep, we're going to do a lot of performance stuff with this. And I might do like go back and forth between carburetors or fuel injection systems. I'm thinking I'm going to use this as kind of a guinea pig. Because this is what a lot of people have in their cars. Is a lot of people out there don't have 345 Internationals and 401 Buicks and big block Oldsmobiles and stuff. Like a lot of stuff I got in Pontiac Straight 8s. So I'm going to kind of use this as a mule to test stuff out and talk about it. Because it's more close to what everybody has in their cars. A lot of